Everyone, it's Katherine Skaggs, and it's June 5th, and I'm finally back online. It's been a month or so since I've been on here to record, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a Mythical Goddess Tarot reading for you to look at the energy of June. I don't know about you, but the fire's been rising. With all this chaos going on, I've written some poetry on the fire and on the importance of letting our fire up, letting our passion up. I'm trying to adjust this. My head looks like it's cut off. Oh dear. Anyway, we're going to do a reading today, and I wanted to take a look at a couple of questions to see, what do we need to know as we move into June, as we're almost into summer solstice. We've got some moon cycles coming up. But most of all, I want to see what the goddesses have to say to help us navigate injustice, places where we're separated from our happiness, from our joy, and how to line up more with, truly being harmonious in the current status of a world that's on fire. We truly are on fire in our culture. We're on fire with the way things are going, many injustices, many separations, many disagreements. And I know for myself and all sensitive people that I'm in touch with, my clients, my students, and some of my friends, is that it's challenging on an energetic level right now. And we need as much support for finding our voice, for doing so in a manner where we speak our truth and stand in the light, but also that we don't need to go to war. Most of all, we are shedding or dissolving energies that can no longer live in this dimension. It looks like a crazy, crazy shit show out there. Excuse my language, but some of you know me. You know I'm a little irreverent. So we're going to see what Mythical Goddess Tarot has to say. Sage is here. She wants to say hi. And we're going to do a 15-card spread and look at the energy for this month of June and any other ways that it wants to address how we move forward, how we are more authentic, how we create community when there's a lot of division. And everything I know is that it's very important right now to trust your heart, to follow what your soul says is right, that in the big picture, what is in the highest good for others and ourselves is truly the path of your soul. And that's what this reading is going to address, the path of the soul, and how we can move more clearly into dealing with the challenges that come up on this path. To be here at this time takes a great deal of courage. It takes a great deal of tenacity on a soul level to be true and honest to what's inside of you and to let yourself shine, to overcome fear, and to overcome difficulty and challenges that are tempering you, to be all that you really can be, to be all that you are. And so as I pull the Mythical Goddess Tarot, of course, we've got some amazing goddesses that are showing up in the first part of the spread. In 15-card readings, the first 3 cards have to do with who are we in regards to this question. And really this question is, who are we on a soul level in regards to how we're managing these times? Who are we? Why are we here? Why are we in this chaos, this massive shift, this massive death for humanity that is asking us as a species, are we going to keep killing each other, basically, dominating each other, or are we going to find a new path and a new vision forward for how we co-create? And this is in the interpersonal, this is in the microcosm, and how you deal with the microcosm is also going to affect this big picture for how we can change our futures with greater good for all of us. So right at the center, one of the cards is the pleasure card. And what's interesting about that card being on the center, she's got 2 other cards beside her that are goddesses that I'll reveal in a minute. But she's the water card. She's the emotional suit. And even though it appears to be chaotic right now, what this is revealing is at a soul level, this change is about pleasure. Embracing that is one of our motivating forces for how we move forward. For many of us who are looking at the news and at the conflict that's going on, we don't feel any pleasure. We don't feel any happiness. And now is the time to find it in ourselves, to find it in our relationship with what I call our divinity, your light, your passion. How can you claim that pleasure for your plot in life, for where you are at this moment? How can you find it within yourself to use that as a way to move forward in your life? It's really important that this is up right now, for this is also about reclaiming your power and letting go of that which no longer can go on your journey as a soul. This is not just this lifetime look. This is not just a month look. This is a bigger picture for all of us about taking our power back. So the first thing is we've got to find our pleasure. Where are you emotionally fulfilled? And if you aren't, it's time to find that within yourself. It's going to be a very important part of your foundation moving forward, not only in the next month, but for the next months to come. We've got Lilith here next to the pleasure card. And she is this power goddess. She is the power card in the Mythical Goddess Tarot. She is also a goddess of ancient times, going back to early Judaism, as the first wife of Adam. She represents equality. Before the patriarchy came along and there was this dominance model, this male energy or this activation energy that pretty much overcame and disrespected the feminine aspect. We are born of both. I don't care what gender you are. Is that we have both male and female principles, yin and yang, within us. And it is Lilith saying, I'm coming back within each one of you to bring the fire up. We've got this Aries energy coming in right now, and this Aries in particularly some of the astrology. And it's coming in to bring us into a new era. It's coming into Saturn. It's coming into early degrees in Uranus. And it's beckoning a huge change that's not just an annual change. We're talking years to bring in fire, to bring in a new beginning. And Lilith is symbolizing that fact that within us, we need to bring that fire up within us to find our equal voice and respect for ourselves, that we live it in the way that we create our lives, and we demand it in our relationships, not through war, but an embodiment of saying, I am worthy. I am worthy to be equal. And that's female, that is people of color, that is people who have less money, that is everyone from around the world in every situation. This is about finding equal ground within our beings to move forward with this energy in June to help start the change, or to continue with this path of shedding the old and coming into a more harmonious place within ourselves, so that we can create that as we come together. We've also got Mother Mary sitting here with the pleasure card and with Lilith. Her word here is sacrifice. In the traditional tarot deck, pre-Mythical Goddess Tarot, this card was the Hanged Man. Sage Holloway, the author, chose the word sacrifice, chose Mother Mary, because the Christian story is that she gave her only begotten son, because I quizzed her 1,000 times of it as to why and what this card actually meant. And she means in the time of stasis, in the times of transformation, those are times when we're being called, like this time of crazy chaos and change and fear that's up within ourselves and the world around us, is that we need to decide what is sacred, what is divine, what is our eternal connection within ourselves, for what we choose, what are we aligned with, and what is it that we need to sacrifice or to let go of, and make that sacred that we're letting it go. Sacrifice, the base of that word, means to make sacred. And it is all about releasing any experience, good, bad, or indifferent, that cannot go with you on your journey forward. So there is a releasing, a purging, and a shedding, and it is a sacred process that you're in, that I'm in, that this world is in, as ugly as it looks at time. There is a beautiful part that will lead us to wisdom and transformation as we are willing to let go of our attachments to the finite. Meaning, as soul, we are so much bigger than what's going on. And we are here in this shedding process to heal our DNA, to heal our species into a greater model of being luminous rather than walking through shadow again and again and again. It is time for us to own this within ourselves, that we have deep compassion and sacred hearts that help us burn through the things that cause pain and separation, and that as we release those attachments to those things, we find a new path forward. And it's one about taking our power and our pleasure back. So that's who we are as we enter into this month and what we're being called to awaken in ourselves. There's 3 cards in the big picture. And I always think of the big picture as what is the big soul energy around this time period that I'm looking at in terms of June. And how we're interfacing it. How is it helping us on a soul level to progress? And in the very center, and this goes along with my personal experience and other people I've been working with, is isolation. It's a mental card. It's a card of balance. It's Saturn in Libra. And you see this little crow here looking at the sky with a couple of crows flying around. And you can interpret this a couple of ways. You know, because the mental suit has so much, it seems to be the most challenging suit for the human to traverse as our mind. And that this crow is, either you look at it and you realize it's time to take a break from all these people. Maybe it's from your social media, maybe it's from the news, but it's time for you to look within. It's time for us to take a break and take some monk time, some meditation time, some personal time to be in our creativity, to be in rest, to be in a place where we are taking care of ourselves and allow our minds to rest from the chaos or from feeling like we must go do things. Now, the other you can feel isolated, or you can feel like you're missing out, or you can feel like you're creating sacred space. It's all a matter of attitude. So I like to look at it and it's like, I want to honor my alone time as a time to deepen in myself and my connectivity and also my connection to spirit, that I'm safe, that I can develop trust even more, that I know that that time is needed for other things than going out and being with a lot of people. So this is encouraging us in the big picture that there will be spaces for us to rest, for us to take a break from all the things we do and all the people we hang out with, to find some personal space is going to be really important for as we move through this time period. This is really important, I find, that if you are shedding, which we are, is that energetically you need to rest your mind, you need to rest all of yourselves so that you're able to come up with new creative ideas in the future. But there are times when rest is important, and this is about personal space, which is interesting that it's sitting next to an earth card, which is about activity. So I'm like, what is this telling us when we have both these cards? Well, as I'm looking at this is Capricorn in Sag, and it can be a very physically active card. So know that as this month, if it does get physically active, to do your best to dance and to bring in all the good stuff for yourselves, to really know that you're in a place where you're consciously bringing in energy into your body, into this physical world. And that isolation card sitting next to it, the word that comes to mind is mindfulness, balance, a place between your inner world and a place between your outer activity. That the two are together for a reason. That you're going to need to find balance of taking a break from all your physical activity and to go within at different times. You also have a card that is another goddess that shows up, Yemaya, the oracle card. She's the goddess of the seas. She's a Caribbean goddess. And she brings in this Virgo energy and moon energy. So she is bringing in, again, a reflective inner state connected to this lunar energy of intuition, psychicness, knowing. And she is the oracle. So in the big picture, when you're taking these spaces and when you're being active, pay attention to synchronicity. Pay attention to what you feel, sense, know. Trust your intuition to guide you. Trust your intuition to leave situations as well as to enter and align with situations that are for your best interest. Know that if you've been given a vision for something new in your life, that to trust your inner states and your feeling senses to know to turn left or right, to know that you are aligning with new energies and they feel resonant. This is an aspect of your own soul that is calling you to trust yourself from a higher place and to let that guide you through your mind and through your earth world. Interesting cards. Okay, the next 3 cards have to do with what are the challenges right now? Well, we got a lot of those. This is like Earth School 10,022, and that we are here to elevate up beyond the chaos and beyond the density. So our challenges are also our opportunities, that even at times when it seems really hard, it can be a threshold or a breakthrough point into new life, into new opportunity. So as I look at these cards, we have some pretty amazing cards that have shown up here. Right at the center is the Ace of Wind, or the mind. Is called realization. What it tells me that in the challenges or opportunities, you know, that, and it goes back to the position of the isolation card that was before, your intuition, your inner spaces are going to be really important, because in this new phase, what we're developing is another level of intuition and trusting these divine downloads. And that the aces tell me that they're always about new beginnings, and that we are protected in those new beginnings. Sage Holloway, the author of the deck, was my teacher in all this. And it's a sageism. Know that when the ace is there, that you have protection, and there's something new and expanded coming your way. So this being in the challenges tells me, prepare mentally and on all levels to know that there's massive divine inspiration and realizations flooding in through this mass transformation. That your downtime's really important, that you're connecting to these higher aspects of your own soul guidance is really important. That you may be bringing in and birthing a brilliant new way of life that may not only bless you, but it may be something that allows you to bless many people. So trust your guidance and know that it's in this time period, it is bringing new opportunities as you're shedding the old. And that the greatest challenge is to just simply be present and honor that. The next card that wants to show up here in the 3 cards on the challenges is the Maiden Revolution. Well, yeah, again, it's Aries energy, it's fire. How many of you been in the fire? Oh my goodness, this fire is not just to burn you up, it's to consecrate you into a revolutionary new self. And yes, it's challenging because it's literally burning like the energy off your skin that is not truth. That you are bringing in a brand new expanded soul self, and that many aspects of your life are being burned away. Our government's being burned up. It can't exist in the same vibration it has been. Our world is changing. As much as there's conflict and war, this fire is to bring in the sacredness of truth and justice, and it's to burn away the lies. This revolutionary card is for you to personally be honest, to be honest about what you are, who you are, what you want to let go of, any way you've hidden, any way that you've lived a lie, any way that you've put up with a society that has told you stories that are not necessarily true, that you're the revolutionary to come into the light, the one who carries the fire within you, and that at this time it seems challenging, but you are the one who's burning away that which no longer belongs to you. So you're being initiated into another level of expanding your light, expanding your wisdom, and expanding your place on this planet as one who is a luminary. This is absolutely transformational. It tells me that don't be surprised what goes away in your life so something better can come in. A bigger expanded version of you feeling authentically and amazing you. And yes, it's not always easy. At times it's searing. And this will help clear the way of anything that is dense or does not belong. And with that, wow, we've got mind, the Ace, realization. We've got the Fire suit, revolution. And we've got the Crone of Seas, which is the emotional suit. It's a Scorpio card, and it's resurrection. And in this, we have this energy of, as we burn away that which doesn't belong, as we open up to divine guidance in this bigger picture, we may go through searing losses. We may already have gone through that. This Crone of resurrection tells me that part of this rebirth, part of this transformation of going through these times is to resurrect all of your soul through the depths of all that you've felt, through the depths of all that you've grieved, through the depths of your joy, that you've been there, done that this card represents that wisdom of going through all these experiences so that you can reclaim all that knowing, the depth of it, the depth of emotional journey on earth in a human body, is that this time period is one that says you can go through this, but you have to go through it. You've got to go into the water to heal the things that have been painful so you can come out with the wisdom. And that's what this card is saying, is don't be afraid to step into the water and go deep. Is that now is the time when much of that will come forward. All right. So I always sound like I'm talking action in every section that I get into, and this is true. And yet this is the action section. Now what do we do with this information? How do we enact that over the next 30 days or so, or longer as this cycle goes on? And one of the first things we need to be really clear with, and I think that's with the other mental cards that we've had so far, is that this Six of Wind intention brings in this Aquarian energy and this Mercury energy of communication, where it says go within to the higher mind within yourself and dream or vision your new future with very good intention. Get clear. If you're not clear on exactly what it looks like, then get to the essence of what you want and imagine yourself in a new expanded version of yourself. Imagine yourself in a different setting than what has created difficulty. Imagine yourself in greater harmony and joy. And if you can't imagine that, imagine yourself releasing the suffering that has kept you from these things, these places, these experiences that bring you into joy. So work with visioning, intention, and getting it from the inside, or the higher mind, the higher divine aspects of yourself that bring a sense of peace. The original name of this painting is Heavenly Night Angel of Dreams. I've got the name all screwed up. Anyway, she's the night angel of peace, and she goes within to create her future in her external world. And this is what we're being told to do. Make sure that you are very intentional. We've also got another fire card. We've got fire here and a play on words, delight. We've got the Three of Fire, delight. And as you notice, it's all about light. It's all about illumination on every aspect of the soul, of the body and the soul. It's about creativity. And it's about being delighted about what you're creating. So we're being encouraged to get creative, to bring in light, to lighten up, to be more joyful, to find our way with that, to be intentional about it, and to know that by doing so, we're going to bring in more love. We're going to bring in more fun. We're going to bring in more shift to get our heads out of how hard it is, which is hard to do sometimes because it's very somatic. It hits us on all levels. But to work with these intentions and working with fire to purify ourselves, that we can get really clear and bring the light back into ourselves and get beyond the shadows. And with that, focus on love. This is the water suit again, our emotional body. This is a Pisces card, again in Mercury. Be the one who communicates love. Be the one who's dancing in the waters of life. You know, this is a playful card. Find your soul friends. Find the ones that you love to play with. Make time for loving play. This can mean a partner coming into your life on a personal level, but it is generally speaking, this is about you embodying that love in this part of the reading and bringing it to those you want to play with. And this is going to affect and expand that into all of your world. That you need to be the one who is the playful one. That you need to be the one who carries this. and that it will be reflected back to you in all ways. Sometimes we're always waiting around for someone to bring it to us because we've been empty. Well, it's time to find it within ourselves and to bring it to this world as we vision anew, and to see how we connect and expand that it is reflected back to us. Well, I've been talking about death for a while, and change and chaos, outcomes. There's big change this month. I don't know what all it's going to be, but there's a lot more transformation and death taking place. Kali, again, it's another Scorpio card. Supposedly a Hindu astrologer said that the Kali Yuga ended in March 21st this year. I have a hard time believing it because we are just so in the chaos, so in the endings, so in the transformation process. And I understand even at the end of the Kali Yuga, there's a period of time where it's violent and chaotic and even more out of control, supposedly. Do not ask me why that would be so. But regardless of the exact ending, we are still in a death spiral, so to speak. We are purging energy, patterns, cycles, mistruths, lies, so that we can come into the light. We have to find it within ourselves. Kali is telling us that we're still dying to old ways, to embrace the death process because it's happening, and that death brings new life. Kali also, for those in Hinduism, from what I understand, that work with her all the time, and from what I've seen about her, is that she really is a goddess of great purity. She is the divine feminine aspect that is a protector from our egos and from the lower, denser energies of lustfulness that separate us from our divinity. And so she's here to bring us back to that path of purity and to help us get out of ego. And that's a good thing, because this is in the end product, the end of the month. So know that whatever fire you're going through, whatever you're doing to take your power back, to go in and be intuitive, is that it's letting go of ego. I find that the greatest spiritual teachers are the ones who are not the gurus. They're the ones who are humble, who know that there's always more to learn, always more to grow. And they're the ones that empower you to become all of who you are. They're not competing with you or saying they're better than you. They know who they are. They don't need to worry about those type of things. And so I'd encourage you right now that whatever you're letting go of, you're finding your inner teacher at the deepest levels, your greatest spiritual selves. You can still learn from other people and respect people who've been on the path and who are doing good things. But respect yourself and know that you are cleaning out old patterns so that you can live more as the authentic being that you are. It also tells me mentally, as we shed and come through this month with these actions that I've talked about, is that we'll be more clear about our path forward, that we'll be more clear about what we truly desire to experience. This is a gal on a hawk who's seeing above the minutia of the earth plane, and as she's shooting an arrow toward her target, she's very clear and focused. This works well with the intention card, is that as we work with our intentions, it brings into focus what we are creating and helps us mentally stay on track. So know that this tells me that we are dying to our egos, that we're more mentally clear as we come through this time and we make these changes, and that the potential is also that we're moving into the wisdom. Sophia was the mother of God, the mother of the world. She is this divine mother of wisdom, birthing light into this world. So with her in the outcome, it tells me, as hairy as things are, as much as dying away, that there's much more light coming in that's going to help bring in wisdom and overcome basically the debauchery that's taking place, the separation from our unified true soul selves. So I hope this is helpful to you. I just like to say that trust yourself, connect to your divinity. I hope that you know that the divine lives within you and not just in these cards or in something outside of you. It lives within you, and these times are about shedding any belief systems, any imprints, anything that keeps you from that love and that knowing. And yes, at times it's really hard. So connect to those who see the light in you. And if you're not sure you have people like that in your life, claim it now and they will appear. So my name's Katherine Skaggs. It's June 5th, 2025. This was a Mythical Goddess Tarot Reading to see how we're doing with the month of June. Let us all focus on that light and intention to bring in more love. Thank you so much.